Welcome to the Moore Center Community Spotlight. I'm your host, Teresa Dinesi. Today, I'm thrilled to welcome Rick Elwell, one of our board members at the Moore Center. Hi, Rick.
Hi, how are you?
Good, nice to see you.
Likewise.
I'm thrilled to talk with you because we go way back.
We do.
A couple decades, perhaps. Who's counting? But
who's counting?
yeah, back at the Elliott Hospital, that was a fun time.
It was interesting times.
Yeah, it sure was. So what are you doing lately? I know there was this rumor you were semi-retired, but I find that hard to believe.
No, I am semi-retired. I finished up at the Elliott at the end of calendar 2015 after 17 years.
You were the CFO?
I was the CFO. Yep. I actually started at Optima, then moved to Elliott. Since then, I've been pretty actively involved. I'm on the adjunct faculty at UNH. I teach a couple of classes in their master's program here in Manchester.
Wonderful.
I have a little business venture with a friend of mine, a partnership that does some healthcare consulting and business advisory services. And I serve on a couple of boards.
So, Rick, how did you first become aware of the Moore Center, and how did your involvement sort of begin?
I had known Paul Boynton, the president and CEO of the Moore Center, for 2 or 3 years before then. Had interacted with him a number of times and found him to be a really good human being. I also knew one board member, Donna Nicolaitis, particularly well. Donna not only was a board member, but was subsequently chair of the board. And again, another person I admired. And when I was approached by both of them, I was just thrilled to join the organization because knowing the character of those two people, it's the type of organization you'd like to be associated with.
What is something that sort of sets the organization apart for you? Or what brings you the most meaning with your board service?
Well, I think the mission, the vision, and values of the organization are wonderful. Too often you'll see organizations who have a mission statement but really don't live by the mission statement. The Moore Center does in every extent. I mean, a good example of that may be board meetings. The first thing we do at a board meeting is we have a consumer moment. And too often at board meetings, the focus is entirely on business and not necessarily the mission or the clients you're servicing. At the Moore Center, the mission and the clients you're servicing are at the forefront.
Absolutely. And you've had an opportunity to sort of see staff in action, working with the folks with developmental disabilities here and there over the years.
Oh, yeah. Some of the things they've done are amazing.
Wow, that's wonderful. Yep. Anything else, any final thoughts in terms of what, it's meant to you as a board member and being a part of such a wonderful organization?
Well, I think it's a very satisfying experience to hear the stories at the beginning of the board meetings of different types of clients, some of the challenges they've faced, some of the challenges their families have faced, and having to deal with developmental disabilities, and how the agency has stepped in to really assist them and actually see the advancement of some of the clients.
You probably have seen a lot over the years, I imagine, just from being part of how the organization has sort of evolved and the different sort of programs and services they've kind of found themselves.
Well, at the time I was at the Elliott, we had probably 4 or 5 clients from the Moore Center who you interact with. They were some of the best workers at the hospital. They were people that you would interact with who would always have a smile on their face and thoroughly enjoyed what they're doing, and it just makes you feel good.
Great work ethics as well, because all the employers that I've talked to over the years have said, they're some of the most dedicated, productive employees that they've ever worked with.
I couldn't agree with you more.
That's wonderful. Well, Rick Elwell, thank you so much for joining us today, and it's been lovely to talk with you. And thanks for all your service to the Moore Center.
Well, you're welcome, and it was good to see you.
Nice to see you.
Okay.
I'm Teresa Dinesi. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time. The Moore Center is a nonprofit statewide organization with a legacy of serving others for over 60 years. We provide compassionate, high-quality, cost-effective services to people of all ages, from early intervention services for children, to programs and services for adults with developmental disabilities, to home care services for seniors wishing to remain independent in their own homes. We also provide training for the human services workforce. To learn more about this award-winning nonprofit organization and its rich history of creating opportunities for a good life, please visit us at moorecenter.org.